All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. I am so excited that we are here for another wonderful day of announcements. So, I'm going to go and just check my streams just to make sure that we are really showing up because there's nothing worse than thinking you're live and you're not live. That's a real problem. So, let me check. Yep, I see we are here live and yep, the sound is working perfect. So, we have another special announcement for you today. As you know, this is our week of speaker announcements. So, we wanted to introduce you to the people that we will be featuring at the Luxe Your Business Experience. So, today I have a phenomenal guest that I know is going to just really bless the people that are attending this event. And if you want to learn more about her, this is your opportunity. And if you want to see her in person, I'll let you know how you can do that. So let me go ahead and bring our guest up for today. Let me see. There we go. We are here.
Hello.
All
Hey.
right. So Monique and I had an amazing introduction through someone that we both work with. And when we had an opportunity to have a meeting, a virtual meeting, we talked for a very long time.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
We realized we had a lot in common. So I'm so excited to have you here today. And let me let you do this so that you can do it best. I would love for you to introduce yourself to everyone and let us know one fun fact about you.
Oh, goodness. One fun fact. Okay, well, let me start with my introduction. Thank you so much for having me. Such a pleasure to be here. I feel so blessed to be able to be a part of the Luxury Business event. So I am a New York attorney. I always start with that because regardless of whether I practice full time or not, it always is a part of me. I've been a New York attorney for over 20 years, but I spend most of my time running my personal development company where I work with entrepreneurs on growing their business at top speed and individuals on growing their life at top speed. And we do that in a variety of ways through online programs, live events, retreats all around the world. And it's wonderful. I love it's such a blessing to be able to experience that and support people through life in that way. I also have a nationally syndicated television program called Women on the Move, where we work with and really feature amazing women who are doing amazing work out in the world. We really like to focus on those people who people don't necessarily know. Although we sprinkle in celebrities from time to time, we like to focus on the everyday woman.
I love that. I love that. And one fun thing about you.
One fun thing about me, my goodness, so funny. I'm actually doing a new journal, a new daily journal entry, day, morning, and night. And one of the categories, there are 7 categories that I have to write down. And one of the categories is recreational. And what I find in having to write down a goal in this category is that I don't necessarily do a lot of fun things.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't do a lot of fun things. A lot of things that um, I consider recreational, other people would consider work. Um,
okay.
but let me see. So one of my favorite sports is bowling. And so
What?
that's actually what I have on my list today to go bowling this week.
Let's have fun. Let's have fun.
Definitely.
Let's have fun. This is a beautiful segue, Monique, because one of the things that you said you're helping people with their business, but also you're helping people with their life. And what I love to tell my clients is a lot of what I'm teaching and sharing with them is something I've either experienced or I'm continuing to do for myself. So the fun aspect, this is really big because we can get so busy as entrepreneurs, we're in the doing. How do we get out of that place of doing all the time and actually being? Like, what's one thing? You don't tell us all of it, but what's one thing we could do to leverage up our life? Because we get laser focused and then we're not able to see beyond the one thing we're focused on in business. What could we be doing in our life to enhance our life or leverage up our life?
Yeah. Great question. And, I think that the first thing that we have to do, I'm going to give 1.5
Okay,
because
one
I
and a half.
I have to preface it by saying that we have to first define what that is for ourselves.
Mhm.
So, what is fun for me in my life may not be fun for you. You know, it may not look like fun to you, but if it brings me a certain level of joy and, relaxation, and for me, it is fun. The first thing is to be able to identify it for yourself and accept it for yourself. Now, what does that look like? What can that look like? It really depends on what moves you, what brings that energy and that spark into your life when you're like, oh my gosh, what a great day, what a great time, what a wonderful experience. And so for me, when I was referring to, someone said, well, that's not fun. I went to walk some custom homes and to meet with a builder. Now, to me, that is totally and completely fun.
Yes.
But for people who are non-real estate people, they hear that and they think, oh no, that's you working, as a real estate broker or as a builder or whatever. But for me, it's actually fun. So identify it for yourself and then make the space and time, commit to it,
Mhm.
put it on
Mhm.
your schedule so that there is no way of being able to slide out of it. Make it mandatory.
I love that. I love that. And I think the biggest thing that you're saying is we're all unique. So there's not a cookie cutter solution to this, but once you find your thing, as you said, the biggest aspect is commitment. And again, we have that commitment for our business in many cases, but we often forget to commit to what we need in our life. And I'm so glad that you mentioned the word fun, because sometimes I too will look and say, what do I do for fun?
Yeah.
I may not define it as fun, but it may be the thing that makes me feel great,
Yes.
but it's sometimes not the priority. And I have, as a mom of 6 kids, I'm sometimes looking like, wow, they're having fun. We need to do what kids do sometimes, and
Absolutely.
find our fun, find your joy, so you can have longevity in what you're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So here's let's address what you may hear people say.
Yeah.
They may say, I don't have time to do that.
Sure.
How do we debunk that? Because we will tell ourselves we don't have time to do something. How would you address that?
Yeah, we all have the same amount of time. I have a friend of mine who's an entrepreneur as well, and she always talks about us being time broke. All entrepreneurs are time broke. And although the phrasing is, cute and can be appealing and people can connect with it in a certain way, I think the truth of the matter is when we look at the things that are most important to us, those key elements that move the needles in our lives, right? Whether that is things related to your families or your relationships or your business, which is where most entrepreneurs are fully and completely committed. I think that, they are situations where they must happen, right? You have children, they must eat at night, right? You have to deal with that. You must deal with them around your schoolwork, around their schoolwork. Those are things that are non-negotiables. And once we identify those key areas of our lives that are not negotiable, they're just there's
Mhm.
no if, ands, or buts about it. For me, my mornings are sacred.
Yes.
My mornings are sacred because I know that I cannot perform at my highest level throughout the day, which life requires of me, if I don't first feed myself. And
Mhm.
so, what does that mean? That means that appointments don't go on the calendar during that time. Meetings don't go on the calendar during that time. I put boundaries around it so that there is no way anything can penetrate it because it is sacred for me. And during that time, I do things that are meditative, I do things that are physical. I'm a runner, so I love to do that. Yoga, those things also are fun for me, but I make it a non negotiable. And whatever you make a non negotiable somehow finds its way to become a priority in your life, even without you saying it as such.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I love that, because if you reframe the way that you think about it, those boundaries and it being non-negotiable, and I love the word sacred, making it sacred to
Yeah,
you, it's going to happen.
it will.
Like,
There is no other option at that
it's
point.
not. It's not like we wake up every day. You wake up and you use the bathroom. I hate to put it in such layman's terms, but it's non-negotiable. You're going. It
Non-negotiable.
must happen.
Yes.
I love that you use the framing around your children. Your
Yes.
children, they're non-negotiable. This must happen. So imagine if we treated ourselves the same way.
Absolutely. And you can, and you
Yes.
can. You often, I remember when I first did it, when I first shifted that in my life. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. And, I joke all the time when I first started putting boundaries around my time, because I used to work nonstop, like so many other
We all
entrepreneurs,
did. Yes.
7 days a week. This
Hmm.
was before the recession. And I, at some point, it became way too much, particularly as a real estate investor, broker, attorney. I was heavily impacted by the crash of the market. And so
Mm.
when I rebuild my life to create the business that I wanted, the life that I wanted, what was first and foremost was that I wouldn't have to work so much,
Yes.
that I could create a business where I could work 3 days a week, most at tops, a few hours a day, 3, 4 hours at most, and that would provide the lifestyle that I wanted for the life that I wanted moving forward. And once I did that, particularly my parents, because they come from the era of work all the time,
Work hard, right?
business all the time, meetings all the time. When I would say, I'm not working anymore on the weekend, they would say, what are you talking about? What kind of entrepreneur doesn't work on the weekends? You work whenever you got to work. Yeah, no, I did that. And that didn't serve me.
It didn't work.
It didn't serve me. Yeah.
Yeah,
This,
well, it's the hustle culture.
yeah,
And we still have people teaching the hustle culture, but it's not sustainable.
absolutely.
Or if you hustle, you get your money up and you're still hustling, you can't enjoy what you've created because you're too exhausted to enjoy it. So
Yeah.
I know, like, one of the beautiful things I appreciated about you when we first met, I told you that I'd gone to a location and you called and you were like, hey, I'm on my way to said place.
Yes. Yes.
And it was a beautiful experience for you, even though you got connections that happened. You were taking the time
Yeah.
to do what you needed to do for you. And this is one of the things we're going to be talking about at the Luxe Your Business Experience. The way I really nurture my community and bringing other people into this community is reminding everyone that you don't have to work hard to make big money. You need to work smart, you need to be strategic, but number one, your life has to be a priority. You can't do the CEO work that you say you want to do if you're not taking care of you and making yourself a priority. And it doesn't require a lot. When you set your systems in place, it doesn't require a lot. That's why we're super excited to have you with us, Monique. I can't wait to see you in person and hug you. I say that to everyone I speak
Oh,
to.
so much.
But I'm
Can't wait.
really excited just to have you in this room serving this group of women and just helping them to see there's more to their life. There's so much more to their life. And we're going to be teaching them how they can leverage up their life, how you can lux your life, but
Yeah.
also be the CEO that you really desire to be. So I do want to quickly share. I'm going to add one more thing to the stream here. Hey, it's Monique's picture. Look at that.
I love that graphic.
So, for those of you that have not heard of this event yet, if you are newer to me, those of you that are watching live, hello. If you're watching the replay, thank you again. We are hosting a Luxe Your Business Experience September the 15th through 17th in San Diego, California. And this is going to be an exclusive room for six-figure women entrepreneurs of service-based businesses, especially. We are teaching you how you can use the Luxe Your Business system to really scale your business. And that way you can work less and make more money, but also make sure that you're leveraging up your life in the process so that you don't get left behind in the work that you're doing. You want to be able to celebrate and enjoy everything that you do. Just as Monique has said, you want to make sure what you're doing is sacred to you, and your team will notice this. The people that are supporting you will notice. If you're happy, everyone's happy. If you're not in a good place, this is when things fall apart in business, right?
Absolutely. For sure. For sure.
So I want to invite everyone, those of you that are excited about this and you want to learn more, please go to luxeyourbusiness.com. We'll put it in the comments for you. We'll go to luxeyourbusiness.com. There is an application process for you to follow. If you are following us because you know Monique, make sure you let us know Monique referred you and there's something special for you. Um, Either way, make sure you go apply now. We only have space for up to 50 women. So don't wait. We are not about procrastination. If you know you need to take action, check it out, apply, and we'll go from there. Okay. So, Monique, I want to thank you again for being one
Ooh,
of our speakers for the Luxe Your
thank
Business
you.
Experience and can't wait to see you in person in September.
Yes. And, really, I just want to say to those who might be listening that it is such a wonderful opportunity now, especially that we can move around a little bit more
Yeah,
than we've been able to in the last couple of years. So, you really want to take advantage of that because we don't know what might happen next. And this is going to be a wonderful room with amazing women who are doing great things and looking to grow and scale their business and their life.
absolutely. And a really cool thing, that's a really good point, Monique. We spoke yesterday, our speaker was definitely talking about, if you're even thinking about like how are events different,
Yeah,
we're making sure that we're putting things in place for you so it is an environment that works for you and
sure.
that's safe for you. So again, we're so excited, everyone. Check out the website luxeyourbusiness.com and apply if you're interested. We'll talk soon. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much.
You're
I'm
welcome.
grateful.